While Elvis Presley is often remembered for his complicated love life and numerous romantic relationships, the bond he shared with his daughter Lisa Marie stood out as one of the most meaningful connections he had. Throughout his life, Elvis strove to be a good father despite the pressures of fame and personal struggles. Their relationship was marked by moments of closeness, shared interests, and genuine affection, even as challenges arose due to his busy career and health issues. Elvis often expressed pride in Lisa Marie and wanted the best for her, though he faced difficulties maintaining perfect harmony because of his own emotional and physical health. Their interactions reflected a deep desire from Elvis to connect with his daughter on a meaningful level, despite the complexities that life and fame imposed on their relationship. This connection remained a significant part of his life, illustrating a different side of Elvis beyond his public image. Lisa Marie's life has been one of constant scrutiny, not only from the people around her, but also from the entire world. As the only child of Elvis Presley, she was thrust into the spotlight from the very beginning, unable to escape the relentless attention that came with her famous father. The media, always hungry for stories, never gave her the opportunity to lead a quiet, normal life. From her early years to her adulthood, her every move was analyzed, dissected, and judged. Lisa Marie's identity was often overshadowed by her father's immense fame, making it difficult for her to find her own path. Despite this, she made her own mark in the music industry, and as a businesswoman, her relationships, her struggles, and her achievements were all part of the public narrative, and her life was often reduced to being the daughter of Elvis Presley, rather than being seen for who she was in her own right. In many ways, Lisa Marie Presley never stood a chance of living a life free from public examination, and the weight of her father's legacy seemed to follow her wherever she went. From the moment Lisa Marie was born, she became the most precious person in Elvis Presley's life. He saw her as the apple of his eye, and his love for her was evident from the very start. No matter how busy his schedule was, with constant touring and a life filled with hectic travel and performances, Elvis always made a special effort to be with her. He held her close in his arms, especially during times when she felt uncertain or unsure, offering her comfort and stability. Together, they transformed Graceland into more than just a home. It became their personal playground where they shared precious moments, laughter, and joy. Elvis's deep affection for Lisa Marie was a beautiful part of his life, showing how he valued family above all else. Despite his demanding career, he prioritized his relationship with his daughter, creating a bond that was both strong and unbreakable. Their connection went beyond words, rooted in love and trust, and it remained a vital part of their lives through all the ups and downs. Even as Elvis's world was filled with fame and constant activity, he always found time to nurture that special relationship, making Lisa Marie feel loved and secure in his embrace. Their bond was a testament to his capacity for deep love and dedication to his family, and it left a lasting mark on both their lives. Since her birth on February 1st, 1968, Lisa Marie Presley has been connected to a legendary musical family through her father Elvis Presley, who was known worldwide as the King of Rock and Roll. From the moment she was born, she was in the spotlight, with photos capturing the joy of her arrival. On the day she came into the world, she posed with her parents on the steps of the Baptist Hospital in Memphis, a city famous for its rich musical history. In these photos, her father Elvis gazes at her with a look of deep love and pride, showing the affection he had for his daughter. Her mother, Priscilla Presley, holds Lisa Marie tenderly in her arms as new parents do with their first child. The image of Elvis looking adoringly at Lisa Marie became a symbol of the love and happiness that surrounded her early life. Despite her fame and the attention that came with her family, Lisa Marie's birth marked a significant moment in her life, connecting her to her father's legendary legacy. As she grew up, she carried the memories of that special day and her family's musical history with her. The image of her as a newborn in Memphis remains a powerful reminder of her place in the story of Elvis Presley and his impact on music and culture. Her birth not only made news, but also added to the legacy of a man who changed the face of entertainment forever. The love seen in the photos from her arrival continued to influence her life as she made her own way in the music world and beyond. After many nights of searching through a book of baby names, the expecting couple finally chose the name Lisa Marie for their daughter. They looked through the book over and over, trying to find the perfect combination of names that felt special and meaningful to them. They decided that Lisa Marie was the best fit because it combined the two names they liked the most, making it unique and personal for their family. Interestingly, they did not name her after any particular person, which means her name was not linked to a famous figure or ancestor. If they had been expecting a boy instead of a girl, they already had a different name in mind, which was John Baron Presley. This name was chosen as a backup, and it shows that they thought about different possibilities while planning for the baby's arrival. The name Lisa Marie later became very well known because it belonged to the daughter of a famous music artist. But her name itself was chosen purely because the couple liked the sound and the meaning behind it, rather than any influence from the music world or notable figures. The process of naming her was a special moment in their lives, reflecting their hopes and taste, and it remained a meaningful part of their family history. After considering the information provided, it is clear that Elvis Presley was a proud and loving father who cared deeply for his daughter. However, he was not very skilled when it came to the day-to-day practicalities of parenting. He found it difficult to handle tasks like changing diapers and feeding his child, the messy parts of caring for a young baby, such as drooling, and the disarray that often accompanies feeding times, made him uncomfortable. Because of this, he tended to leave those responsibilities to his wife Priscilla, who was happy to take on them. There is even a story where Priscilla mentioned that Elvis looked very frightened when he was holding their daughter as a baby. She said he appeared petrified, probably because he was worried he might accidentally drop or hurt her. Despite his hesitations with the small daily chores, Elvis remained a proud father and enjoyed the moments he could hold his daughter, even if he was a bit unsure about doing everything himself. It shows that while he may not have been naturally adept at caring for a baby in every detail, his love and pride as a father were genuine. While focusing on his role as a father, Elvis Presley often preferred to spend his time having fun and buying things for his daughter instead of taking on the more routine aspects of parenting. He believed that feeding and cleaning up the baby were not really a man's job, so he didn't see those chores as his responsibilities. Instead, he liked to show his love through giving gifts and entertainment, making his daughter feel special. He was very generous when it came to buying toys, clothes, and treats, which made his daughter happy and gave her a sense of being loved and cared for. Although he didn't always help with the daily work of caring for the baby, his gifts and attention showed that he wanted to be a good father in his own way. Elvis' way of parenting was different from what some might expect, but he made sure his daughter knew he loved her by giving her things and spending time with her in ways that made her feel special. Despite his busy life, he wanted his daughter to feel cherished and loved with the lavish gifts he provided. Even if he didn't always participate in everyday chores, this style of being a father reflected his personality: fun-loving, generous, and eager to show affection through gifts rather than daily chores. His approach to fatherhood was unique, but he clearly wanted to give his daughter happiness and a sense of being valued. Then, as a father, Elvis Presley showed his love for his daughter Lisa Marie through lavish gifts and generous gestures. When Lisa Marie was only 3 years old, Elvis bought her her first fur coat, marking the beginning of many luxurious gifts she would receive over the years. These gifts reflected his desire to give her the best and to show his affection in a tangible way. Not only did he give her beautiful clothing, but he also made small but memorable payments for her baby teeth. When she was 6 and 7 years old, Elvis was happy to hand over $5 notes for her baby teeth, which was a small fortune during the 1970s. These actions showed his love and care for Lisa Marie, using gifts and money to express his feelings. His generosity was well known and sometimes made headlines because of the size and frequency of his gifts. Elvis's way of showing love through gifts was part of his personality and his way of caring for his family. It demonstrated his desire to make his daughter happy and to give her special memories. These gifts and gestures from Elvis Presley remain a lasting part of his legacy as a father who used luxury and money to show his love. His lavish gifts were more than just material items. They symbolized his deep affection and his wish to give his daughter a life full of love and comfort. After reaching the age of 70, Elvis Presley decided to purchase a jet, and he named the plane Lisa Marie in honor of his beloved daughter. This act showed how much he loved and valued his family. Elvis often called Lisa Marie his princess, a term of affection that reflected his deep feelings for her. Some people might say that calling her his princess sounded a bit sentimental, but Elvis' way of expressing love was always genuine. The nickname Lisa Marie became more than just a name. It was a symbol of Elvis's affection and pride in his daughter. It also revealed his desire to protect and care for her in his own way. Elvis's love for Lisa Marie was strong and clear, and no matter what others thought about his sentimental side, he was determined to show his love for her as he believed was best. The naming of the jet and his affectionate nicknames displayed how Elvis valued family above all else, and that special bond remained important throughout his life. His actions reflected a man who wanted to show his love in a way that made sense to him, holding on to those feelings deeply. The jet named Lisa Marie became a symbol of that love, a tribute to his daughter and his desire to keep her close, showing the world how important family was to Elvis Presley. Certainly, before she started school, Elvis Presley showed his love and affection in a very special way by giving his daughter a Harley-Davidson golf cart inscribed with her name. This gift was not just a vehicle, but a symbol of his desire to make her happy and to indulge her whims. Elvis believed in treating his loved ones to special experiences, and he often went out of his way to create memorable moments for his family. For example, he would rent out movie theaters and amusement parks so that his daughter and his family could enjoy these places privately without any crowds or distractions. This allowed them to have fun and relax in their own special world. One of the most famous acts of indulgence was when Elvis flew his daughter to Utah so she could play in the snow, even if it was just for a few minutes. These acts of kindness and gifts showed how much Elvis cherished his family and wanted to give them moments of happiness and joy. His generous spirit was always evident in how he cared for his loved ones and made each day special for them. Elvis's gifts and indulgences reveal a man who loved to make his family feel special and valued, and his actions continue to be remembered as signs of his deep affection. After his marriage ended, Elvis Presley remained a caring and loving father to his daughter Lisa Marie. When Priscilla Presley and Elvis divorced, Lisa Marie was just a young girl, only a few years old. Following the divorce, she went to live with her mother in Pacific Palisades, which was not far from Graceland in Memphis. Despite the separation, Elvis and Priscilla wanted their daughter to feel loved and secure. In 1978, Priscilla recalled that Lisa Marie continued to visit Graceland often, and she saw that Elvis and Lisa Marie still shared a strong bond. They would hug each other and show love just like before the divorce. Elvis and Priscilla would talk about what Mommy and Daddy said to help Lisa Marie understand the world around her. Priscilla explained that Elvis and she never argued or showed bitterness in front of their daughter, which helped Lisa Marie feel stable and safe. Elvis's love for his daughter remained strong, and he made sure she knew she was still loved, even after their family situation changed. The way Elvis and Priscilla handled their separation showed that they put Lisa Marie's feelings first. Despite the divorce, Elvis' caring nature stayed the same, and he continued to be a loving father, keeping his daughter close and happy. Their relationship after the divorce was peaceful and full of love, which helped Lisa Marie grow up feeling secure and supported amid the changes in her family life. Although Elvis Presley was a famous singer known for his music and charisma, his personal life was filled with complex relationships. At the time when Elvis was living with Linda Thompson, who was his lover, there was some tension related to his family, especially his daughter Lisa Marie. Linda Thompson once shared that Lisa Marie told her that Priscilla Presley, Elvis's former wife, did not like Linda very much. She expressed her feelings about this and found it quite sad. Linda also pointed out something interesting in her biography, saying that Elvis had definitely taught his daughter to speak openly and freely to others. This suggests that Elvis wanted Lisa Marie to be honest and clear when she talked to people, even if it meant dealing with difficult feelings or situations. The dynamics between Elvis, Linda Thompson, Priscilla Presley, and Lisa Marie show that Elvis's personal relationships could be complicated. Despite the problems, his influence on his daughter included encouraging her to be herself and express her true feelings. This honesty and openness seemed to be part of Elvis's legacy, even as it sometimes created tension among those close to him. The story highlights how family relationships and feelings can be complex, especially when shared with the world through fame. Even with disagreements and misunderstandings, Elvis's approach to honesty and self-expression remains a notable part of his legacy, showing that he valued being true to oneself and encouraging others to do the same. Since then, Lisa Marie has shared that her father Elvis Presley was a person who cared deeply for those he loved. She explained that he was very protective of his family and friends, always watching over them with a gentle but firm heart. She described him as very adoring, showing his love through actions rather than words, making her feel safe and valued. In an interview, she mentioned how she always knew she was truly loved by him, and there was no doubt about it. This love was not something she took for granted, as she understood it was rare and special. She said Elvis was very watchful, always paying attention to the small details that mattered, making sure everyone around him was happy and protected. To Lisa Marie, it was clear that Elvis's love was mutual, meaning he gave love just as much as he received. She felt that their bond was strong and genuine, built on trust and care. Despite his fame and busy life, Elvis always made her feel like she was the most important person in the world. His love left an indelible mark on her, shaping her feelings and giving her a sense of warmth and security. She described him as a father who was always there, loving without limits and caring beyond words. For her, Elvis's protective and adoring nature was one of the most meaningful parts of their relationship, and she treasured the moments she spent with him. Her words reveal a deep, mutual bond that lasted through all the years, leaving her with memories of a father who loved her unconditionally. After a long day filled with singing, dancing, and entertaining millions, Elvis Presley was also a father who cared deeply for his family. She remembered that as she grew older, bath time became a special moment she shared uniquely with her father. She noted that he was the only person who could get her into the bathtub happily, while she enjoyed playing up for other people, including her mother. During bath time, she was always happier with her father. Once her father lifted her up and gently placed her into the tub, she remained calm and stayed put, and the playful games would end. She never argued with him, and she trusted him completely during those moments. This shows that despite his busy life as a music icon, Elvis made time for family and made her feel safe and loved during simple routines like bath time. Her memories highlight the warm relationship they shared, marked by gentle care and trust. These moments stand out as heartfelt memories of a father's love and the special bond they had. Despite his fame as a legendary singer and actor, Elvis Presley also had a playful side that he shared with his daughter when she visited. Because he was often busy with his career, he only saw his daughter during school holidays and on special occasions. During these times, they created many fun and mischievous memories together at his famous home, Graceland. They would spend hours playing and having adventures, turning ordinary days into exciting adventures filled with laughter. Elvis loved to rent out adventure parks like Liberty Land, sometimes for whole days, so he could enjoy the rides and entertain his daughter without any interruptions. They spent a lot of time riding roller coasters, feeling the thrill of the loops and sudden drops while sharing smiles and delight. Alone with his daughter, Elvis sometimes invited his girlfriends, Linda Thompson and Ginger Olden, to join in the fun, making these days even more special. These moments at Graceland, full of mischief and joy, showed a different side of Elvis, one that loved to be playful and spend quality time with those he cared about. It was these times that reflected his love for family and happiness, despite the pressures of his busy life in the spotlight. His playful spirit and love for his daughter helped create memories that lasted long after those special. Because he loved to take her shopping and buy her whatever she wanted, Elvis Presley showed a very lenient side when it came to his daughter Lisa Marie. She was spoiled and indulged in many ways, receiving affection and gifts from her father, who was famous and wealthy. Yet, despite his leniency, Elvis truly loved Lisa Marie and wanted her to feel special. He was not strict at all, and often let her get away with almost anything, even when she and her friends had the run of Graceland all day. Since Elvis indulged her like this, she knew no one would tell her what to do because they feared losing their jobs. This made her feel like she could do what she wanted without consequences, and she admits to being a terror at times. She acknowledges she was unruly and not proud of her behavior. Sometimes she would stay out late at night, and her father was so relaxed that he would sleep all day, giving her even more freedom. This leniency contrasted sharply with her mother's approach, who was very strict and firm. Her mother's strict discipline left her parents' styles feeling very confusing for her. She had a lot of affection from her father, but also felt the confusion of not knowing which rules to follow because her parents' approaches to discipline were so different. Elvis's love and leniency gave her a sense of comfort and freedom, but also made her aware that she could push boundaries. Despite her mischief, the special bond she shared with Elvis showed how deeply he cared for her and how much he wanted her to enjoy her childhood. This mix of indulgence and love made her childhood unique, full of moments where she could feel spoiled, but also loved beyond measure. Elvis Presley had special private quarters in his home, where he spent a lot of time with his daughter. These areas were important to him, as they allowed for quiet moments away from the public eye. Not everyone was invited into these private spaces, which made them even more significant. It was in these rooms that Elvis and his daughter shared their time, away from the hustle and bustle of the outside world. They would often watch TV together, creating a bond that was built on love and attention. The time they spent in these private quarters was meaningful, offering a space for connection without interruptions. To this day, these rooms remain closed to the public, preserving the privacy of their cherished memories. The bond between Elvis and his daughter grew stronger in this special part of the house, and it is a reminder of the personal moments they shared in a space reserved only for family. Since Elvis Presley was a famous music artist and not directly associated with a father-daughter duo named Lisa Marie, the summary seems to refer to a different context involving Elvis's daughter, Lisa Marie Presley, and a special time spent with her. Therefore, imagining a heartfelt moment between Elvis and his daughter, we can picture a scene where Elvis cherished the quality time he had with Lisa Marie. When Lisa Marie was in residence, Elvis found joy in simply being with her, running outside in the yard, playing games, and sharing laughter. Their days were filled with fun activities, and there was never a dull moment when she was around. Elvis loved when Lisa Marie stayed over, as it gave them more time to talk, laugh, and enjoy each other's company. He made sure she felt loved and happy, often joining her in her favorite games, listening to her stories, and taking joy in her innocent excitement. These moments of closeness meant everything to Elvis, as he valued family and the simple pleasures of spending time together. Whether they were playing outside or sitting quietly sharing stories, Elvis treasured these special days with Lisa Marie. The memories they created during these times stayed with him forever, reminding him of the importance of family and love. Their bond was strong, built on fun, laughter, and mutual affection, making each moment together truly precious. Elvis's happiness was often reflected in the way he looked at Lisa Marie and the way she looked back at him, knowing that these moments of peace and joy were what truly mattered most. Their quality time together was filled with warmth, happiness, and the unspoken understanding that they had a strong family connection that would last a lifetime. Despite the challenges of having two very different homes, Elvis Presley tried to provide the best for his daughter Lisa Marie until she was 9 years old. In Elvis's home, he gave Lisa Marie everything she asked for, and sometimes more. He wanted to make her happy and believed that material things could bring her joy. He also paid a lot of attention to her, trying to make her feel loved and special. On the other hand, her mother tried to teach her to be more responsible. She wanted Lisa Marie to learn discipline and good behavior. The two homes were very different, which made life confusing and sometimes difficult for Lisa Marie. Elvis's approach was more relaxed and focused on giving her what she wanted. Her mother's approach was stricter, aiming to instill responsible habits. Growing up in two such contrasting environments was not easy for her, but Elvis's desire to make his daughter happy showed his love for her. These differences created a unique and sometimes challenging upbringing for Lisa Marie, with both parents trying to shape her in their own way. The situation reflected the struggles of having diverging parenting styles within her life, which left a lasting impact on her. While Elvis Presley was known around the world as a legendary musician and performer, his daughter Lisa Marie Presley faced a different challenge growing up. Although she was often in the spotlight because of her famous father, she also had to adjust to the more disciplined and strict environment of her mother's home. Unlike the relaxed and carefree atmosphere at Graceland, which felt like a constant holiday for Lisa Marie, her time with her mother involved a very different set of rules and expectations. The differences in parenting styles were clear and sometimes difficult for her to accept. At Graceland, she was surrounded by music, fun, and leisure. But at her mother's home, she experienced a more structured and disciplined way of life, which felt much less relaxed. This stark contrast highlighted how difficult it was for her to adapt to the stricter environment, especially after enjoying the easygoing life she was used to at her father's estate. The transition from the freedom of Graceland to the more disciplined surroundings of her mother's home created a challenge that she had to work through as she grew older. Throughout her life, Lisa Marie remembered these differences vividly, feeling the tension between the carefree childhood at Graceland and the stricter expectations she faced elsewhere. Her experience reflected a common struggle for children of famous parents, trying to find a balance between the world of fame and the realities of adult responsibilities. Despite these struggles, she managed to navigate her way through the adjustments, although the contrast in parenting styles remained a significant part of her life story. Because of her strict attitude, Priscilla worked hard to ensure her daughter Lisa Marie learned important values. She made sure Lisa Marie went to school every day and understood the difference between right and wrong. Priscilla also tried to teach her about being responsible with money and managing her expenses. This was not easy, especially during a divorce, but it became even more difficult because Lisa Marie's father, Elvis Presley, was very rich and famous. When Lisa Marie was with her mother, she had to follow strict rules, but when she was with her father, it was often chaotic. Elvis's home, Graceland, was a place where Lisa Marie loved to be. She felt safest and most at peace there. The house was full of noise, excitement, and spontaneity, which she enjoyed, but it also meant she sometimes rebelled against her mother's strictness and rules. Lisa Marie preferred spending time with her father, where her desires could be quickly fulfilled, and there was less discipline. Her relationship with her mother was filled with challenges because Priscilla wanted her to grow up with strong values, but Elvis's lifestyle was very different, making it hard for Lisa Marie to find a balance. Despite these struggles, Lisa Marie always knew that her home at Graceland was her safe place, where she could relax and feel normal. This tension between the strictness of her mother and the chaos of her father's lifestyle was a constant challenge in her young life. Initially, it is important to understand that Elvis Presley, known as the King of Rock and Roll, was a hugely influential figure in music history. His rise to fame changed the landscape of popular music, and he became a cultural icon worldwide. Despite his musical achievements, Elvis's personal life was often marked by struggles, especially with indulgence and excess. These behaviors affected not only his health, but also those close to him, including his family. Priscilla Presley, Elvis's former wife, faced significant challenges in dealing with the aftermath of Elvis's indulgence. She struggled hard to counteract the negative effects of Elvis' habits on their daughter, Lisa Marie Presley. Priscilla often felt overwhelmed trying to guide her daughter away from the material excesses and habits that Elvis' fame had brought into their lives. She expressed that she didn't feel she was spoiled in the traditional sense, but rather that everything Elvis did or gave to Lisa Marie was motivated by love. She saw his generosity as an expression of his care, even if it contributed to a life of privilege and excess. Priscilla also acknowledged that her daughter had some difficulties overcoming her early environment. Because Lisa Marie was so used to people obeying her father's commands and jumping at his slightest request, it took a long time for her to learn to approach people differently. The atmosphere of indulgence that surrounded Elvis laced her early experiences and made it hard for her to develop independence. Priscilla recognized that her daughter was often accustomed to a certain level of service and attention, which made her tell others what to do for a long time. This pattern was hard to break, but over time, Lisa Marie worked to shed these habits and learn her own boundaries. The complex relationship among Elvis, Priscilla, and Lisa Marie shows how fame and indulgence can have lasting effects on family members. Despite these challenges, the love that surrounded Elvis and his family remained strong, even as they navigated the difficulties left in his wake. Because Elvis's influence was so profound, his legacy includes not only his music, but also the lessons learned about balancing indulgence with discipline in family life. Later in his life, Elvis Presley developed a deep fascination with religion. He created a small room inside his main bedroom that was dedicated entirely to books about different religions. This room was simple, but filled with many books that explained various faiths and spiritual beliefs, showing how much he was interested in understanding the world of religion. Despite being famous as a singer and performer, Elvis was also a seeker of spiritual truth and peace. According to Lisa Marie Presley, his daughter, he was always searching for love and peace in his life. She explained that he often looked for comfort in religion and spirituality, as he wanted to find meaning beyond fame and success. Elvis's interest in religion was genuine, and it reflected in the way he dedicated a specific space in his home for learning and exploring different faiths. His fascination with religion seemed to be part of a personal quest for inner happiness and understanding, something he might have been trying to find amidst the pressures of his career and life. The collection of books in his small room showed his curiosity and desire to connect with something greater than himself. Elvis' search for love and peace through religion remained a significant part of his life until the end. After Elvis Presley's death, his daughter Lisa Marie and her mother decided to become involved with the Church of Scientology. Despite Elvis not being a churchgoer during his lifetime, Lisa Marie and her mother found a new path through Scientology that lasted for many years. They remained active members for about 30 years, dedicating a significant part of their lives to the church. This involvement also played a role in Lisa Marie's personal life. She met and married her first husband, Danny Keough, within the church community. Their marriage was the longest she had, and it connected her deeply to the church's teachings and community. Elvis himself was never part of Scientology, and his interests stayed focused on his music, movies, and personal beliefs. The continued involvement of Lisa Marie and her mother in Scientology shows how the church became an important part of their lives long after Elvis' passing. Their experience highlights the influence that the church had on their personal and family decisions, shaping their paths in ways Elvis never knew. As they stayed active for decades, their stories reflect the lasting impact of the church on their lives and relationships. Although Elvis Presley is known worldwide for his music and his influence on the rock and roll genre, there is a side of his life that reveals a more complex and troubled person. From a young age, he faced struggles with self-destructive behavior that affected his life deeply. Before he became the legendary star he is remembered as, he was very close to his mother and father. However, the relationship with his father showed signs of worry and concern. As a 9-year-old girl, someone who saw her father from her small perspective, she found him exciting and loving, but also indulged in habits that hinted at self-destruction. She remembers her father taking handfuls of pills, though she didn't understand what they were for at the time. His behavior was often erratic, changing suddenly in ways she couldn't fully grasp. Yet, she would always notice how he would try to pull himself together when he saw her, making an effort to hide his struggles. This image from her childhood shows a man battling inner turmoil that he could not entirely hide from those close to him. His self-destructive tendencies seemed to be part of a larger pattern that continued through his life, affecting his relationships, health, and career. Despite his immense success and talent, Elvis Presley struggled with these personal issues quietly, trying to maintain a facade of control, while underneath battling his own demons. His story reminds us that even the most famous and admired individuals can have inner battles that aren't visible to the world, and that behind the fame, there is often a person facing inner pain and struggles. After a long day, Elvis Presley would often come to the door of his daughter's room while she was watching TV. Sometimes he would stumble and lose his balance, falling briefly to the floor. Lisa Marie, who was a young girl at the time, would try to catch him to keep him from falling completely. She remembers feeling worried and trying her best to help her father during those moments. When Elvis would fall or seem unsteady, Lisa Marie would ask him if he was going to die, and he would always answer no, reassuring her that he was okay. She believed him because she trusted her father's words. However, Lisa Marie admits that there were several times she got worried enough to go and check on Elvis herself. When she did, she found him in states that concerned her, sometimes looking very unsteady, as if he was not well. These incidents left a lasting impact on her, making her realize that her father, despite his strong presence and music fame, often struggled with health issues. She remembers feeling helpless and wanting to do more, but she also knew that Elvis always tried to hide his pain and keep going for his family and fans. The times when Lisa Marie saw her father in these bad states remained in her mind, showing a different side of the rock and roll star she loved. She wished she could have done more to help him during those moments, but she also understood that Elvis was a complex person who fought many battles behind the scenes. Despite his health problems, he continued to perform and create music that touched millions of lives, leaving behind a legacy that would never be forgotten. His struggles with health and balance, especially as he aged, highlight the human side of a music legend, reminding everyone that even icons face difficulties that are not always visible to the public. Lisa Marie's memories of those times are a reminder of the importance of caring and watching out for loved ones, especially when they face unseen battles within. Her stories reveal the vulnerability behind Elvis's fame and show that no matter the fame or success, old age and health issues can affect anyone. Her perspective helps us see a different side of a man who was loved by many and cherished by his family. As she recalls those moments, Lisa Marie's words remind us all of the fragile nature of health and the importance of compassion and understanding for those who may be suffering quietly. After Elvis Presley was found dead on the bathroom floor of his bedroom, the scene caused a shock that echoed through his family, friends, and fans worldwide. At the time, Lisa Marie Presley, his daughter, was only 9 years old and staying over at his house. She had been wandering around the house at about 4 a.m. because she couldn't sleep. When Elvis saw her, he gently kissed her and softly sent her back to bed. This was the last moment she shared with her father and remains a precious memory for her. However, shortly after Elvis's death was discovered, the noise and the chaos caused by people trying to help and figure out what had happened woke Lisa Marie. Curious and scared, she went to find the source of the commotion. There, she saw a shocking sight: Elvis's girlfriend, Linda Thompson, attempting to revive him. The scene was both heartbreaking and confusing for her to see. This moment left a deep impression on Lisa Marie, who carried that tragic memory with her for the rest of her life. Elvis's death marked a somber chapter in the story of one of the most influential musicians in history. And for his daughter, it was a memory intertwined with love, loss, and innocence lost too soon. Despite his immense fame and musical talent, Elvis Presley faced many health concerns throughout his life. His daughter, Lisa Marie Presley, grew up worried about her own health because of her family history. Her father, Elvis, died suddenly at a young age, and many people in his family also passed away early. This made her think about her genes and the risks that could come from her family's health issues. She paid attention to her lifestyle, knowing that many relatives had less healthy habits and did not live long lives. Lisa Marie decided to take care of herself and stay as healthy as possible to avoid the same fate. When she started having children, her concern grew even more. She remembered that as a child, she had never seen Elvis eat his famous fried peanut butter and banana sandwiches. She never tried one herself until later in life, and even then, she only took one bite and never ate more. Her cautious attitude showed how much she cared about health and wanted to be different from her family's past. Elvis's life and death made her focus on healthy living, and she believed that paying attention to her own health was important for her children and future generations. Seeing the story of Elvis Presley, it is clear that his influence on music and culture was immense. Known as the King of Rock and Roll, Elvis changed the way people thought about music and performance. He became famous for his energetic singing style, his charismatic stage presence, and his unique voice that combined different musical genres. Throughout his career, Elvis broke down many barriers and gained fans of all ages around the world. Despite his fame, Elvis faced challenges, especially related to his legacy. When his daughter decided to pursue singing, she believed she could never truly live up to her father's immense fame and achievements. Instead of trying to imitate Elvis or match his success directly, she chose to live with his legacy rather than trying to upend it. This decision helped her find her own path in music, allowing her to develop her style and build her career without the pressure to compare herself to such a legendary figure. By accepting her father's influence and choosing to live with it, she was able to find peace and confidence in her musical journey. Her approach showed that respecting a loved one's legacy doesn't mean copying it, but rather honoring it by forging one's own way. Elvis's legacy remains strong because his family and fans continue to celebrate his contributions to music, and his daughter's decision demonstrates how others can carry on that legacy in their own unique way. Her choice to live with her father's legacy, rather than trying to live up to it, proved to be a wise and empowering step in her career. It allowed her to stay true to herself while still honoring the memory of Elvis Presley, keeping his spirit alive through her music and her own life story. This iconic mansion became a symbol of her relationship with Elvis and a place where she found comfort and reflection. However, it is through her songwriting that she truly revealed the overwhelming burden of being Elvis's daughter. Her songs often carried raw emotion and honest words about her feelings, struggles, and the pressure that came with her father's fame. One notable song, "I Love You Because," showcased her ability to translate her complex emotions into music that touched many listeners. It was a heartfelt expression of love and longing, capturing both her admiration and the emotional weight she carried. Additionally, her duets with her father's recordings further highlighted her deep connection to him and her desire to honor his legacy. These collaborations allowed her to share her voice alongside his, creating a sense of unity and remembrance. Through her music, she offered an intimate look into her life as Elvis's daughter, revealing how deeply her identity was intertwined with his towering presence. Her songwriting and performances served as powerful outlets for her to express feelings she might not have been able to voice otherwise, making her a testament to the emotional complexity of living in the shadow of such a legendary figure. Certainly, Elvis Presley was a legendary musician and cultural icon who changed the landscape of music with his unique style and charisma. He is often called the King of Rock and role because of his huge influence and popularity. Elvis was born in Tupelo, Mississippi, and from a young age, he showed a deep love for singing and performing. He became famous in the 1950s with a sound that mixed country, blues, and gospel, creating a new kind of music that appealed to many different people. As his fame grew, he became not only a singer, but also a symbol of a new youthful spirit and freedom. His performances were energetic and sometimes groundbreaking, and his image became known worldwide. Eventually, Elvis bought a large estate called Graceland, which became his home and a symbol of his success. Despite his fame, he stayed close to his roots and remained a person many admired. His music continues to inspire artists long after his death. In his personal life, Elvis had a daughter, who was the only child of Elvis and his wife. She was the apple of his eye and often called his princess. She spent her first 4 years at Graceland, surrounded by her parents' love, in a world full of music and happiness. However, after her parents' divorce, she moved with her mother, and Elvis became the fun parent. During this time, Graceland became her playground, a place where Elvis could indulge in his childhood fantasies and still spend quality time with his daughter. This upbringing meant she grew up with 2 sets of rules, one strict and one more relaxed, but she always knew her father's love was deep. Elvis created a home where joy, music, and family were all connected, and his life revolved around both his career and his family. His legacy is not just in his songs, but also in the way he loved his family and shared his happiness with those close to him. Elvis's story is a blend of great success, personal struggles, and a deep bond with his daughter, leaving a lasting impression on the world of music and beyond. Elvis always believed that providing for his daughter was a natural expression of love and care. Having grown up in poverty, he never took his success for granted. His deep bond with his mother shaped his understanding of family and generosity. Elvis saw giving as a way to show how much he appreciated those closest to him, especially his daughter. The love he had for her was unmatched, and he did not hesitate to give her everything she desired: homes, cars, clothes. Anything she wanted was within his reach. He viewed this as a way to create a better life for her, ensuring that she would never experience the struggles he faced as a child. His actions were rooted in the values he cherished: love, family, and the desire to make life easier for those he cared about most. For Elvis, giving everything to his daughter was simply an extension of the care and devotion that had always been part of his life. Elvis Presley's impact on his daughter, Lisa Marie, is deeply rooted in his unique way of showing love through indulgence. Despite the negative effects that can come with a lack of boundaries, Elvis showered Lisa Marie with gifts and grand adventures as a means of expressing his affection. To him, giving lavishly was a way to demonstrate how much he cared for her, even though this sometimes blurred the lines of responsible parenting. While such behavior may not have always been the best form of parenting, it left a lasting impression on Lisa Marie and influenced her view of love and affection. Inheriting Graceland became an emotional milestone for Lisa Marie, marking a significant chapter in her life. Graceland, beyond being just a mansion, is where Lisa Marie feels the strongest connection to her late father. It is not just a home, but a symbol of Elvis's legacy and presence. However, Graceland is also the place where she witnessed her father's death, a painful memory that continues to haunt her. The juxtaposition of these emotions, grief over her father's passing, and the comfort of feeling his spirit in the house, has shaped Lisa Marie's life in profound ways. As an adult, Lisa Marie still grapples with the loss of Elvis, not just as her father but as a cultural icon. The passing of such a larger-than-life figure affected her deeply, as she had to navigate her own grief while the world mourned his death. The weight of being the daughter of Elvis Presley, someone so beloved by millions, has influenced her personal journey. She continues to cope with the dual reality of losing her father, while also carrying the immense legacy he left behind. At Graceland, Lisa Marie Presley reflects on her father's presence, describing it as overwhelming, grand, and powerful. She says that sometimes it feels dark, depending on his mood, but that she always has positive memories of her time with him. Growing up in the house, there was always a lot of energy. Elvis Presley, known for his mischievous nature, kept things lively, and Lisa Marie remembers how much fun they had together. The house was full of excitement, laughter, and playful moments, which Lisa Marie cherishes. Despite the complex emotions tied to his legacy, she feels an enduring connection to her father. At Graceland, his energy is still palpable, and for her, the memories are all positive. She feels his presence, a testament to the lasting bond they shared. From the moment Elvis Presley passed away, when Lisa Marie was very young, she was left with a legacy filled with mixed emotions, memories, and feelings about her father and their relationship. Growing up without him, she carried an emotional weight that was often confusing and difficult to understand. Although Elvis was gone, his presence remained strongly in her life through memories, stories, and the influence he had on her upbringing. She often felt a deep admiration for his talent and his role in shaping music history. But at the same time, there was sadness for the times they did not share together and the distance that his absence created. His impact on Lisa Marie's life has been ongoing, guiding her choices and shaping her experiences, even as she grew older. The emotions connected to her father are not simple, but layered with love, longing, loss, and sometimes confusion. This mixture of feelings persisted because Elvis was a larger-than-life figure who had been so important to her childhood and her identity. Despite his death, Lisa Marie continues to experience his influence as a double-edged sword, both comforting and challenging. Her connection to her father remains as complex as it was during his lifetime, leaving her with a legacy of feelings that may never fully find resolution. This ongoing emotional journey reflects the deep and sometimes conflicted memory of Elvis Presley in her life.